everybody, welcome back to the next video, and today we are moving on to the very last of my job quests. I can't believe that we finally made it. So we are level 80 in everything now. Well, everything except the Astrologian. So here we are back in Ishgard about to accept the quest called Love Astrologically. Something. Maybe the stars tells you that Jannequinard would like a word or two. 100. Claire, you always seem to know the precise moment at which your services are required. Such is the mark of an accomplished astrologian, if I do say so myself. Which would, of course, imply you are already aware of what I would ask of you. Yet, I would indulge you with my request nonetheless. It is Master Rufin. Following our return from Kugane, she has been distant. Well, more distant than usual. Enough to give one pause, at least. I thought I might ascertain the source of her worriment with the deck of 60. It was presented with the usual subglumen of vague portents and portentous vagaries. By the time I unwrapped my throbbing head from the spread, all I could discern was something about a dark wind blowing from the east. I suppose this could imply any number of things. Ill tidings from our allies in Doma, a rainstorm brewing over the Black Shroud, a fire at the fine pasteurier near the Ark of the Venerable. Why, I suppose even you could be the Dark Wind. No, right. Well, I think we all know what that actually really means, right? I mean, we are the Warrior of Darkness now, aren't we? Let us simply say I am worried about our companion, but am at a loss as to how I might help her. Leveva has been spending much of her days up at the last vigil, staring blankly over the sea of clouds. I have attempted speaking with her, but the lady is about as receptive to my concerns as one might expect. Perhaps, though, she would prove more forthcoming with her star pupil. The last vigil was once a lookout for the Sea Knight's Dragoon. Though by the time anyone manning the outpost spotted a dragon, it was far too late to do aught but crawl into the root cellar and pray. Harsh. Alright, so she's just right outside House Fort Thompson, in fact. Okay, that'll make it easier. So, I wonder what has gotten under our teacher's skin now. I mean, judging from the picture, it looked like, I don't know, like somebody here is going to proclaim their love for her and she's not going to take that well. That's kind of the picture that I started here. And oh, I just love this new ability. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm sorry, I get distracted by really cool, spinny, shiny things. It's just in my nature. Okay, now let's see if we can find her. Oh, there she is. It would never work. I was a fool to think... Oh, Claire! Just the woman I wanted to see. Might you remember Kyokuho? Lanky fellow, disheveled hair, somewhat capable in the geometric arts? Well, it appears his travels will be bringing him once again to Ishgard. Seeing as how he's proven me with the wealth of valuable insight into his discipline, the least I could do was to be able to greet him upon his arrival. Unfortunately, I must see to some unfinished affairs near the architect. Would it be too much to ask for you to visit the Aetherite Plaza in my stead? I shall catch up with both of you at the Athenaeum Astrologicum. I wonder what she's up to. But hey, it's going to be kind of nice to see him again. And if you don't remember him, he was kind of that little red-headed geomancer that we met in the last series of Astrologian quests. Came all the way from Kugane to learn a little bit about astrology, and let's just say that the two of them didn't get off to the best of starts. I mean, he was friendly enough, but I just think she really was annoyed by him. I mean, he was kind of like that annoying little brother that kind of tags along after you and you just want him to go away and leave you alone. It will be good to see him again, just to see how Hingashi's doing. Here he is. Claire, imagine us meeting here. Could it be fate? I jest. Slow down, friend. I've only just arrived in Ishgard, and already you're recruiting me to some urgent cause? You Westlanders certainly don't waste your time. I intended this to be a short visit to discuss how matters have progressed since you vanquished Kyokuho and aided me in restoring my grandfather's wards. However, I suppose all that can wait. To the Athenaeum? I don't know what it is, but every time I picture that guy, I think of a Mikote for some reason. I don't know why. So every time I see him, I'm always a little bit surprised to see that he's not a Mikote. I don't know, his personality just kind of registered in my mind as more of a Mikote. I don't know why, I just think that. Why, if it isn't a dark wind from the east. Oh, so he's the dark wind? It is good to see you again too, Jannequinard. Claire tells me all is not well with Lady Leveva. Ah, so I see someone has wasted a little time in informing every rat in the broom of matters that I thought it obvious were of the more personal nature. Oh, save the drama for the stage, my friend. Claire merely recognized that in intimate connection Lady Leveva and I forged in Kugani made me the perfect candidate for discerning what might be weighing oh so heavily on her soul. Ha! And how do you propose to do that? Do it? I've already done it. Lady Leveva is in love. Wow, that's kind of jumping to conclusions. But of course she is! Wait, what? Her arch-enemy defeated, her father's memory honored, and a city saved. Lady Leveva has conquered the countless peaks that rose before her with an air of aplomb that would belie her mere 16 summers. Why does it feel like he's only saying all this because he can't think of any other explanation? And now, be with a purpose, she has turned her gaze to companionship to fill the void that lies agape in her heart. And I believe I can help. Claire, might you know the lonely lady's current whereabouts? The architects, but I don't think that's the problem. Those massive stone ifglis to raw masculinity? Oh, it is worse than I thought. We must make haste. Don't tell me you take that addle-padded moon boy seriously. Lady Leveva? In love? What a ridiculous notion! Unless... if she is smitten with some unknown individual, and I am by no means implying that she is, it is my duty as friend of her father to determine if the cur is worthy of Lady Leveva's attention. I don't think we need to worry about that. I mean, as of right now, everybody back in Charlian is told that she's dead. So she's now under the guise of Master Rufin. I mean, I don't think she would really be the type of person to go out and... I don't know. I'm not gonna question it. I'm sure it'll explain itself. But you know, it was hilarious what he said. To raw masculinity. You know what? I didn't really think about it before, but yeah, he's got a point. Those giant statues looking down at you. Can you really blame him for thinking that way? I mean, I probably thought the same thing too when I first came to Ishgard. Look, there she is. I think we should pretty much leave matters well alone. Then why are we here? I was afraid you might ask that. What do you think we should do? Hey, don't look at me. I'm not an expert in this stuff. I'm but a humble student of the geometric arts. I have little understanding when it comes to matters of the heart. Oh, really? You did not strike me as somebody who would be new to that. And what, pray tell, are you two doing here? Greetings and salutations, my dearest Leveva. Aren't you looking most resplendent this fine afternoon? Resplendent? Spent a few bells in the books, have we? Time will tell if this new vocabulary suits you, but time is not a luxury I am afforded at this moment. The city's din is positively deafening. It stifles my thought and upsets my humors. What I require is clarity, something unattainable within these stone walls. The quiet of Camp Dragonhead, however, may provide me with a moment's respite. Oh, and you may cease this ridiculous talk of matters of the heart. Love is the furthest of my worries. I, for one, am already promised to another. Wow, really? Out. Ready. Promised? How is that even? Ah, Kyokuho. There is no need to kneel in my presence. Did I miss anything? I love this guy. I see. It comes as little surprise that one of her social standings would be betrothed at such a young age. Such is the custom amongst older houses, even in the city as progressive of Charlian, and she hails from one of the oldest. I suppose. It's just that... Kyokuho, whether the vim and vigor from our conversation earlier, and all this upon learning Lady Leveva is to be married. A more acute observant might presume a certain emotional attachment to our young protege. But that would be ludicrous. I for one know that good Kyokuho's feelings towards Leveva are not but those of admiration for her skill at the astromantic arts. So let us return to the task at hand. We still do not know what is weighing down on the lady's fragile heart. And what better way to find out than to ask? A novel idea, don't you think? Asking someone what is troubling them rather than assuming, without having actually spoken with them or even seen them for some time, that they're simply longing for amorous relations. Wonderful! Kyokuho and I shall return to the Athenaeum, where I will make certain he refrains from idle mediments and any other lives. As much as I appreciate you deciding to just come out and ask somebody, I don't appreciate that you sent us on this whole wild goose chase to begin with and are now asking us to go and speak with her again. Oh well, what can you do? So, where is she? She's outside? No, it doesn't look like she's outside. Oh, she must be up there. How do you get up there? Oh. It's been such a long time since I've been here. I used to spend so much time here. As persistent as always. Fine, you've seen through my ruse. I am not, in fact, promised to another. I simply implied as much to silence Kyokuho. Alright, there was a time I was promised to another. We have my grandfather to thank for that. However, since I am now officially deceased, my assumption is that the arrangement will have been annulled. Not that I shall ever bother to actually confirm this assumption. What is troubling me? It is not my intention to involve you or Jannequinard or even Kyokuho in such matters. However, the discord of my silence has shown perhaps warrants of an explanation. Despite repeated efforts following our recent achievements in Kugane, I have been unable to conceive feasible means of blending the teachings of Astrologian astrology and those of Far Eastern geomancy. As Kyokuho explained, unlike astrologians who look to the stars above to read their fates, geomancers look to the star below and listen to its songs and draw their answers from its whispers. Yet try as I might, I remain impotent in tapping the land's puissance. I've spent my life attuning to the slight variations of the ether of distant stars, so much so that when I look to Heidelin and her ether, I am overwhelmed by its potency, its glow, you could say. Think of it as trying to open one of the heaven's gates in a world of everlasting daylight. A world of everlasting daylight. About that. You have visited such a place? My readings were accurate. Exactly where have your adventures taken you, Claire? Well, it's kind of a long story. And you had no trouble channeling the ether from that world's heavens, despite the fact that you never once physically laid eyes upon them? Intriguing. But I am a woman of reason and shall require more than a word of another, no matter how close, to convince me of this phenomenon. A first-hand demonstration, however, might suffice. A single aspected benefit, perhaps, but only under the influence of the Dornal set, mind you. Okay. Nile set. And aspected benefit. Your faculty for ethereally conversing with celestial bodies both far and near is peerless, a most eloquent display, and one I shall endeavor to learn from. I have committed the most grievous of sins by allowing things such as light, distance, and dimension, things that hold no dominion over the realm of ethereal, to prevent me from unbinding my full potential. You, however, helped me to realize the error of my ways. I believe now I might continue my studies. Just not here. I am unsure why I thought this would be a suitable location to ponder my predicament in the first place. Perhaps it was the memories of our first lesson here. Let us hurry back to the Athenaeum, lest we catch cold. One would think you've gotten used to the cold by now. What I don't get is, Claire, why are you telling so many people about your adventures? That shouldn't be a good idea. Wouldn't it be better if the other worlds don't know about each other? I mean, in case people get other ideas. I mean, it's not like they can actually go there, but you think that this would probably cause a lot of panic if it turns out that there are many other worlds out there and just what their connection is with the world. Oh well. I mean, hey, at least we're telling people that we know, right? So, my original reading was accurate all along. You were the Dark Wind. But then, why dark? I thought people were calling you the Warrior of Light. Well, in this neighborhood they do. Jannequinard was right. I was the dark wind from the east. If I hadn't arrived and upset Lady Leveva with my ridiculous notions, we wouldn't find ourselves in this mess. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that one. Foremost, I believe I owe you both an apology, or at least I owe you one, Jannequinard. As for you, Kyokuho, how did you arrive at the ridiculous notion that I was somehow languishing in the throes of love? When Claire and Jannequinard mentioned that you were not yourself after returning from Kugane, I simply assumed that... Do you dare suggest that we had any hand in this, Kyokuho? You were not a quarter bell in the pillars before you were telling anyone who would listen about the cavernous maw that yawned in the heart of the poor, lonely Master Rufin, and how you were to fill it. Lonely? Pah! I'm far from lonely. In fact, I've already promised my heart to another. Of course, already promised to a... Wait, what? You heard me, and I've never spoken a truer word. Whoever could it be? It is certainly not Claire, or... Heavens forfend, Kyokuho? Why, Astrology, of course. What? Who did you expect? Quimperian? Oh boy. That would have been funny. They were fighting over who she had love for. I suppose you're wondering what brought me to Ishgard in the first place. It most certainly wasn't to ruffle Master Rufin's feathers, though it seems I have succeeded in that nonetheless. Our triumph over Kinko having restored the people of Kugane's faith in geomancy, it was not long before a gaggle of eager mages were clamoring at my door, seeking guidance in the arts of wind and water. To accommodate, I transformed my grandfather's study into a place where I might train those who are willing to invest the time and effort necessary to become masters. Which reminds me, my students are likely wondering where their sensei is. Farewell, Claire! So he came to tell us of his new school of geomancy? Did we not give him a link pearl? At any rate, allow me to thank you once again for the inspiration you provided. Despite being your mentor in matters astrological, I find myself consistently in your debt when it comes to, well, everything else. You are a true friend and confidant, Claire. And as always, she has once again failed to acknowledge that it was I who first noticed her change in mood, and that it was my reading that predicted your arrival, and that it was my good judgment that eventually pointed you in her direction. But such is my destiny, I suppose. I am simply happy that Lady Leveva is back to her normal self. If aught were to befall her, Rufin would haunt me till the 8th Umbral Era. Thank you again, Claire. I would say we make a fine team, but considering you cover the Koharo's share of the footwork, I will refrain from any further analogies of a sporting nature. Aww, there we go. It's done. Quest complete. Stars in our fault. Yay! Alright, let's see what we've got here. What is the brand new title? Here it is. Distant Stargazer. Ooh, I like that one. So now it's official, everyone. I'm a level 80 and everything. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all love it, and let's see what we have in store for us next. So until next time, everyone, take care.